And now my mic is on.
I literally just said, is your mic?
I know, because I always want to have the music, but I got to click the music, then the mic, and I forgot to click the mic. Anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. I'm sure you probably could read my lips on that one. But anyway, yeah, and I forgot to change it to 30 frames per second to try to avoid all of these hiccups along the way. Yes, I know my voice is on now. My wife just turned on her sound just to make sure that you guys could all hear me. Hang on a second.
I can hear you.
I know it's bothering me with the echo. Yes, I can hear it. Anyway, all right, let me pop out the chat here so I can see it a little bit better. All righty. Well, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Trying to get caught up and trying to move things forward as to getting everything ready. Anyway, so let's first do some let me do the intro first, so prepare for that. Alrighty, well, let's do a quick roll call. And let's start from the top. Kaiser, thank you for being here. Dr. Jafar Kelly, haven't seen you here. Maybe I'm just missing the name, but appreciate you being here. Brian Hollywood, thank you for being here. Old people problems. Yeah, I've been having a lot of computer problems today. It's been really weird. Yeah, computer keyboard color wouldn't be right. Literally my volume on my computer was going up and down randomly. So yeah, I think I finally have that figured out, but what a pain in the butt that was. Anyway, Crypto Bedell, Gordon Murray, Steven Cicero. Yes, that is how you pronounce his last name, Cicero. Balloon Dragon Mining, Canadian Miner, Charles Thomas, Crypto Perks, Blaine Anderson. Thank you guys all for being here. Dakota Miner, Crypto Perks, Dumpster Fire. Thank you for being here and being a member. Automatic Beats, Bacon, Eggs, and Hash. Hello to you, sir, as well. S. Chang, thank you for being here, one of my regulars. Mickey, Alexander Fleener. Now I start getting into duplicates. I gotta see who I haven't said yet. B, there's one I haven't seen. Carl Broker, Solar Miner in Spain. Happy New Year to you as well. Paddywhack Miner, Automatic Beats, 306 Miner. Kia Enigma Adventures, thank you for being here. And oh, I hate when it does that. It jumped on me. So if I missed you, I apologize. Nick Roberts, Patrick Guyan, thank you for being here. And I forgot to put a subject in there for one of the things that that I was going to mention tonight. Great. Well, we'll see if it gets worse. There is nothing mining on my computer. I am not benchmarking right now. I'm just double checking things. Let me get rid of this just in case. I'm just going to close everything that could possibly be doing anything, although I can't close my browser because I kind of need that for the stream. But hopefully, I mean, from a processing standpoint, nothing's going on. Yeah, I mean, the GPU's obviously doing what's, oh, you know what? I forgot about this. It may be choppy because I have my graphics card downclocked. So let's try fixing that and see if that fixes it. I forgot about that. Nope, it's at standard because I restarted my computer just a little bit ago. So I don't know what that was. So, okay, so that's not it. Thought maybe, but nope, that's definitely not it. So we'll run with it. Let me know if it gets so bad and I can always restart, but trying to avoid doing that as well. All right, let me continue. Retro My Crypto, thank you for being here. Depran, thank you for being here and being a member. Dumpster Fire for being a member as well. Happy New Year to you as well. Joker Miner, thank you for being a member for 2 months. And OnlyFlans, hopefully you got my DM. I'll talk a little bit about that tonight as well. Let's see. Please make GPU mining profitable, Mickey. And Red Panda Mining, thank you for being here. Happy Hanukkah to everybody that applies to. Let's see. Steve is IT. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure talking to you the other night. Blue Dragon Mining. And I think I pretty much got it. DJ Waters. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Pleasure playing COD with you the last few nights. Don't know if I'll be able to do that tonight, though. It's better now. Okay, well, hopefully lag back. Great. And I don't think I can change the settings in the middle of it. Output, streaming, bit rate. Can I change my frames per second in the middle of a stream? I don't think so. Rate control. And I can decrease the bit rate. Let's move it down to 5,000, see if that makes any change. Apply. All right, let's try this. Tuning down to ultra low latency. Hopefully that helps. And you guys can let me know if it does. And that's recording. That has nothing to do with that. Replay buffer. No. So I guess the only thing I could do is decrease the bit rate and tune it for ultra low latency. So again, hopefully that improves things. So let me know if it does get better. All right, let me, Geek of all trades, thank you for being here. Mazel tov to you as well. And Retro Mike says, quality is perfectly fine for me on PC. All right, well, good. Glad to hear that. All right, well, we'll run with it, and I'll certainly want to have to go back and look at the stream and see how bad it is at the end. But hopefully we can get some good information out there. Bacon, Eggs, and Hash says, if it makes you feel better, I tried adding a second rig and just transferred my first rig ID and password. LOL, got to refresh everything now. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Although, thankfully, Hive OS makes it relatively easy. So that's probably like an extra half hour, maybe 45 minutes at the most, I would think. Most of it's just kind of waiting for things to take place. So, Paul D, how are you? First, I'm first. Alrighty. Well, let's get into the subjects at hand. And let me switch over. A little too much screen, or a little too much window showing. All right, there we go. All righty. So Bitcoin's at a whopping 16,680. It's up, better than being down. But I do find the conversation about 2023 that we started on Saturday Night Live very interesting, because I started looking at it more afterwards. And I started looking at charts to see, like, when did the other last, the 2015, 2019, and now we're in 2023. So those 4-year cycles, or approximately 4-year cycles, where are we in that cycle, and where would we expect to be based upon the past two halvings? So let me pull up a chart, and we will do all time. And it'd be good if I could actually, oh, here we go. We definitely don't want to go out that far. So we'll go out to 2015, January 1st. That did not, okay, 2015, it did not really change it. It still shows it like all time. Anyway, all right, so here we have 2015. Doesn't look like it did a whole heck of a lot. So let's change it to, I may have to go to a different tool because I wanted to do logarithmic scale, not actual scale, because that really doesn't represent what we're looking for here. All right, let's go into a new one. Bitcoin charts logarithmic. I don't really care about 2021. I just want a log chart. No, just give me, here we go, CoinDesk. This is what I was looking at before. Log. And all time. Okay. So here we're down at 2015. This is right around January. We're looking at around about 300. By the end of 2015, we were up to around 400. So basically a 33% increase. So it was an up year. When did we really start to see that improvement? Well, we saw a pump in March, then a down, and then another pump in July, and then a much bigger pump towards the end of the year, basically into the following year, basically through November, and then it dropped back down a bit and then started to pump, and then we can see what it ended up doing. It started going up. So, you know, it looks like, you know, 2015 was somewhat flat, but in actuality, it was, you know, 30% up. Hey, if your stocks went up 30%, would you be happy? Yeah, I would be. So that means that we would have Bitcoin at about 24,000 by the end of the year. I think that's completely, I don't want to say expected, but certainly within the realm of possibility. And the other part of it is, so when was the Bitcoin halving during this cycle? And in this cycle, it was much further towards the end of the year, the following year. So in 2016, it was July 9th. So pretty far into the year. Now, when we go into the third Bitcoin halving, it happened 2 months earlier. So where did we start to see an increase in 2019? Well, obviously you can see we had a big drop heading into 2019. Again, kind of where we are now. Obviously timings are probably a little bit different, but not, it appears like we're kind of in the same position. And then where did we end up going up? Well, in about June is where we really saw a nice big increase. So we definitely saw a pump up to around almost 12,000 at the end of June, down basically from 3,700. So we're talking a very, very large increase. So if we're looking at that, we could get a pump over 40,000 based upon this history. And that could come as early as March, because March or April, based upon the relative point to which the halving occurred. Then we saw a kind of flat to down period of time leading up to the halving. And remember, the halving was in July of 2020. And typically, this is what people don't usually realize, although it didn't happen this time. A lot of times, the right after the halving, it goes down. But this time, it did not. July was like at 9,000. It was lower than where it was in July of 2019, July of 2020, but then right after that, a couple months after, and that's usually about the time after a halving, it's usually a couple months, that's when you finally start to see the bull run. So we're certainly not going to see the same type of bull run I think we're going to see in 2024, but we could see an increase in value based upon past history. So again, not financial advice. I just think it's really interesting. You hear about the Bitcoin cycles, you see graphs of them all over the place. You know, what does that really mean? What could it mean? It's good to look at the previous data to see, are we going to follow suit? And if we do, then we're going to see, you know, I'm guessing somewhere between 24 and 40,000, which is significantly higher than where we are now. So after looking at this, because if you remember on Saturday night, I said I didn't think we were going to see a pump until 2024 based upon the cycle. You know, the last one was in May. I'm thinking the next one's going to be in March of 2024. we won't see a big bull run probably until June or July is, I think, where we might start to see a bull run. But we still could see some nice ups and downs, some nice trading opportunities. If you're thinking about getting in, I think now is a great time to get in. Again, not financial advice. It's just what my thoughts are and what I'm thinking about doing. And of course, we're all in a situation where we've been invested in cryptocurrency, and economy's not great. And so none of us have, or very few of us have, just money sitting on the side. So becomes a little bit more difficult. But anyway, not a bad time to invest based upon past history. So anyway, just my 2 cents on that. All right, let me pull up. I hate the auto snap feature of Windows. I don't want to auto snap. Just want to move things around a bit. Alrighty. I'm trying to find my Adobe Express. Oh, that's right. I brought that like really small so I could look at it later on. There it is. Let me get rid of this. Okay. All right. That was my predictions. Any comments, any agreements, disagreements? What do you think? And if you are watching this after the fact, please go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Koinly. Had a lot of people hit me up on DMs, and a few people in the channels. Let me bring this up. So Koinly is a way of making it really easy for you to figure out what your tax liability is, or this year, maybe not so much what your tax liability is, but what your tax losses are for this year. Obviously, if you haven't sold anything and all you've done is mined, then obviously you don't have any losses. But this can not only help you with your trading, it can also help you figure out what your mining gains and losses are along the way as well. And that's actually where I find this tool to be the most beneficial. If it was just trading, I could pull that out of my, exchange and register that. But the biggest problem is with mining is that you're getting all these payouts and you have to keep track of all the basis. When you get a mining payout, that's a business profit or hobby profit, depending on how you have things set up. But it sets up the basis for when you sell. So say you bought into a crypto, or you mined into a crypto at 10, but then you sold out when it was at 20. Well, your mining profit is going to be 10, and your trading profit is also going to be 10, because that's the difference between 20 and 10. So this website helps you with all of that. The one thing I wanted to go over tonight was just getting it set up. And so there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. So if you are syncing it up with your exchange, there's a way to do it via an API. You'll need to look at your exchange website to find that information. Koinly has tools to help you find that as well. But that's really easy in the fact that it just syncs up all of your activity on that exchange, no matter what the actual coin is. So it'll do all your coins all in one shot. So that makes it really, really convenient. If you are doing a wallet, then you have to look at each individual cryptocurrency and sync up each one individually. Some of them will just sync up to the blockchain and gather all of your transactions off the blockchain. Others, you may have to do some type of export from your wallet to get it into Koinly. Koinly, and this is one of the things I wanted to bring this up tonight so people can upvote this. Where did I put that? Here it is. Yeah, here it is. I am going to bring it over here. So feedback.koinly.io is a great place where you can go and say, hey, I need to have an integration with this cryptocurrency. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to do it, but they're looking to find out what are the most important coins that their users are looking to be able to do an automatic sync to. So if you go into integration requests, you'll see there's a number of ones in here. Ergo native tokens, Flux was also in here. There was another one I also put in here, but yeah, ETH POW. So this is the place you want to go. So if you are a Koinly user or you do plan on using it, go here, find the coin that you're looking for. Let's just do Flux. It'll bring it up to the top and then upvote it so that they will know that it's important. So definitely highly recommend going there. It's feedback.koinly.io. So anyway, so right now I've got everything except for one exchange. I opened up a KuCoin account this year in order to purchase pre, and which reminds me, I think I missed my window for renewing my Flux node, my Flux pre node, I should say, and I'll probably have to start over from scratch. Not a huge deal, but I think my time was up about an hour or two ago, unfortunately, and forgot about it. But anyway, but I opened it up so I could buy pre, and so I have some transactions there that I need to account for. So I'll be syncing that up as well. That's the only thing I have left that I need to sync up, and then I'll be ready to go to do the next step, which is doing transactions, and it's basically going through each transaction and double checking to make sure that it's represented properly. Is it income? Is it a trade? All those kinds of things. And your mining isn't going to automatically come in as mining. You have to go through each one of those transactions because there's no way for Koinly to know what that transaction, what that deposit is. Did that come from another wallet that you don't have in Koinly? Koinly is really good that when you go across different wallets that you have, wallet addresses that you have within Koinly, that you have all of these things represented, that it'll be able to match those two things up so that when, like, for instance, when I got everything off of the exchange, transferred everything off of Bittrex and moved it to a wallet, that when I did that, yeah, they all matched up within Koinly. So they're viewed as a transfer as opposed to a withdrawal and then a separate deposit. So it has those smarts within it. So anyway, hopefully that gives you an idea, but the end result of what you're looking for is how much did I gain or lose on both my mining profits and my trading profits or losses, as they may be, throughout the year, so that you can just enter it very simply into your taxes. So again, I'll be talking a little bit more about this. Hopefully, if I get a little bit of time, definitely be putting a couple of videos together on this. But anyway, hopefully that gives you an introduction. Now that I've depressed all of you about taxes, let me go through some of your questions. Charles Thomas says, let's say I have 10K on platform A and 10 on platform B. I claim the money on platform A, but not B. Am I looking at any IRS trouble? Well, yeah, if they find platform B, if you get audited, yeah, or if platform B is a platform where you have, trying to think of the word, know your customer, KYC. If they are KYC and they report that you have an account to the IRS, not necessarily report what your transactions were, but report that you have an account and you do not report anything about that, yeah, you could be looking into some IRS trouble if you're lucky enough to generate an audit based upon that. Okay. Oh, okay. So it was an example. I don't leave money there, only cold storage. But I also have like $50 of mining on Trade Ogre that I'm locked out of due to 2FA issues. Do I need to worry about that $50? So this is not financial advice. But realistically, is the IRS going to worry about $50? I can't see how they would be worried about that. I just cannot see how they would. They're looking for big amounts. You know, if you got 1,000 or more on a platform that you forget about, yeah, you could put yourself at some risk. If you've got $50 here and $100 there and that's it, I really don't think they're going to care about that. That's not, because again, you're talking about an amount. You're not even talking about what the gain or loss is. You know, so yeah, I really don't think they're worried about that, but they're looking at, you know, the big things, people trying to elude thousands and thousands of dollars in taxes. So anyway, all right. Red Panda Mining, there is an option for the first time adding wallet. You can check all transactions to be mining, which I do because I don't buy or trade. That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, when you are inputting, you can actually state that everything was mining. I actually just did that when I was putting in my Zelcore wallet this year, because I really hadn't been using it up until this year. But the difference for me was I was transferring everything to it. So it was a transfer. It wasn't mining. So I didn't want to generate a new basis upon that transfer. So you just kind of have to keep that in mind when you are bringing things into Koinly. If it's an address that you only mine to, then you have a selection that you can say, this is a mining profit. So I did notice that today as I was doing that. So nice. All right. And thank you to my mods. I appreciate what you guys are doing. I do not know what those comments were because I didn't see them, but appreciate the work you guys do. Geek of all trades, have you ever set up a Flux node on Hyper-V? I have not. A hypervisor, I'm assuming. I don't think you're necessarily being specific to a specific hypervisor, but my plan is to do that probably on Unmineable. I don't know. I haven't decided which hypervisor I'm going to use, but I've heard of some people having some issues with nodes on hypervisors. So trying to figure out exactly which one's the most reliable. But yeah, I have a Radeon 7 2700, not Radeon, Ryzen 7 2700 that is sitting in a box that I'm going to use to build around. Only thing I'm trying to find is hopefully find like a B450 motherboard. That's my goal. So, hey, if any of you have the one sitting around, let me know. Maybe we can do a trade of some sort. So let me know. Let's see. Bacon, eggs, and hash. If I claim crypto as a hobby, can I still deduct expenses, or do I need to file as a business? You can, well, again, my understanding, I am not a tax advisor. My understanding when I did the research in this is no, when you do it as a hobby, you cannot deduct expenses. It's, in other words, you can't file it as a business. It's a hobby at that point. And again, I don't understand why anybody would do cryptocurrency as a hobby. You need to file it as a business so that you can take advantage of deducting any expenses you have on everything that goes into that business, your internet, your electricity, and of course, the cost of your GPUs and all the hardware that goes along with it. So yeah, got an error saying not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streamings. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Great. Okay. All righty. Well, I just noticed that the error finally popped up. It hadn't been there before. So hopefully maybe you can just get poor quality. But anyway, alrighty. Well, I will keep plowing ahead. And a lot of these things I'll be revisiting anyway throughout the year. All right, let me see. Tech man, always calm, cool, and collected. Yeah, I suppose. Anyway, Hyper-V is the Microsoft hypervisor. I thought it was a specific hypervisor. We'll be setting it up on Hyper-V just cause. Figured I would pick your brain first, LOL. Yeah, I haven't done that. I actually don't know anybody who has done that. So let me know how that goes. Main thing is making sure you're on something that is reliable, where you're not going to run into problems just because of the platform you're on. Right now, I've got all my stuff on separate computers and it's running really smoothly. Have not had any issues, knock on Formica. But it's been going well. Occasionally I have some hiccups, but that's usually related to some type of internet or power issue. So, all right, Gandalf Gray says that was a statement released by Kraken last year that said because I had less than $600 on their platform, tax reporting was not necessary. Yes, that's true. And in fact, the IRS recently did an update where there was a law change where anything, well, first of all, the $600 and below hasn't changed. So yeah, if you do have any type of tax reporting less than $600, it won't be reported. It doesn't mean that you're not supposed to report it to the IRS. That just means that the particular company doesn't need to report it to you. So it lessens the reporting for really small accounts and reduces that. But one of the changes that just happened was any of the payment processors that are out there, like PayPal and eBay and Zelle, any of these out there, it used to be if there were over 200 transactions and over $20,000 in transactions, I think you needed to meet both criteria. And that if you were over that, there had to be a reporting by that payment processor back to you so that you could figure out what your liabilities were for taxes. But they have a law in place now that has brought that back down to $600. And the IRS has just recently delayed that law. So that will go into effect next year for 2023 taxes, not 2022. So anyway, if that affects any of you, just keep that in mind and look it up for yourself. Do your own research. All right.
No, Blaine Anderson. It might be a dumb question, but how do I go about transitioning from hobby to sole proprietor? Like the steps to get a sole prop title to coin. He can't tag because he's on his phone.
Oh, okay. I heard the question, Blaine Anderson. So basically, you're saying what do you need to do to go from a hobby to a sole proprietor? Honestly, I would say consult a tax professional, but my understanding, again, not tax advice, it's just my understanding that you can turn a hobby into a business. That lots of people do that and then treat it as a business. Now, can you go back to previous years and refile? That might be a possibility. It's something you might want to look into, but you won't, for this year, you won't be able to take things that you, as I understand it, you can't go back previous years to say, oh, those things that I was saying as a hobby are now business and I want to expense them this year. Again, on something like this, would definitely consult a tax advisor because there may be specific situations where maybe you can. Anyway, but it's definitely worth changing for this year, especially if you had significant expenses. Crypto Patel, sorry, my B450 is being used for Chia. You do not need to apologize for using your own hardware. Anyway, Jeff Key put one on a virtual box, but that's pretty resource intensive. Interesting. Okay. Retro Mike Crypto says Hyper-V is Microsoft implementation that you can activate in Windows. It's actually a type 1 and converts your Windows install into a VM and auto boots into it. Interesting. Okay. Techman, lots more paperwork. I file as hobby. I pay about 10% when mined and variable when cash out. It is definitely paperwork intensive, but my previous years, I would have had to have filed a profit because I wouldn't have been able to take all my expenses against it, as I understand it. So for me, it has helped me each of the last couple of years actually have a loss. This year, actually, I'll have a mining profit because I didn't buy a lot of hardware this year, but we'll see. Anyway, let's see. Oh, bacon, eggs, and hash. It's not about the nodes. They're not. Anyway, what I need to do is So for some people, the stream looks good. That's really interesting. That some people are getting lag and other people aren't. And I'm seeing lag. So go figure. So Paul D, are helium miners more profitable mining H&T or used as a retro retropie playing Nintendo games? You might get more entertainment out of if you turn it into a RetroPie, but actually you will make more money having it mine as an H&T miner. It is profitable if you have it in a good location. But I hear what you're saying. Definitely. Yeah, I've definitely been thinking about what I'm going to do with mine. Actually, Joe from Network Bits, he just sent me a DM today about a new project that will also be doing LoRaWAN, and like a way of actually you can run both helium and LoRaWAN on the same device. Now, right now, there's no rewards running this new project, but towards the end of this year, like August timeframe, that's when they're looking at doing something like that. So you can actually see. So like mine's like totally buffered.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, good. I have no idea why mine is doing that, but anyway, so it looks like people are having a lot of varying, a lot of varying quality in the stream. But anyway, I'm going to go back to it in a second. Okay, fine. She wants me to close the window, so I close the window. All right, good enough. Let's see, what else do we have here? Patrick Guyan, the $600 payment ordeal is not being enforced by the IRS this year. Yes, they are legally required to, but aren't now. Yes, I found that very interesting as well. The law is what it is, and the IRS is saying, nah, never mind. Like, but the law says this. So I'm sure there's something written in the law that basically says if able to enforce, or there's probably some out in the law that basically says if it's not this year, it's whatever year that you can actually make this happen. So that's probably it. Anyway, I didn't read the law, but I wonder. Let's see. Hello, I'm Chili. Hi, Mr. Chili. Good to see you, sir. All right, let's move on to the next topic, which I need to bring up because I never remember what they all are. Update your miners, people. Yes, everyone should be updating their miners. So I hadn't done it in a little while, probably in about a month and a half. And both LOL and Mini-Z had both updated. And so I updated Mini-Z for my Flux miners. No change. So that one wasn't a big deal, at least for 3000 series cards or AMD cards. But I did do it for LOL and got another of about 0.8% change. So, you know, I'm at, 12.1 to 12.3 gigahash on Caspa. So definitely saw about 0.8% change in my Caspa, except for my 1660 Ti's. Those did not change. So, but, if you haven't done it in a while, especially if you're mining Caspa, take a look at it. Definitely take a look at it. All right. So Hello, I'm Chili says, do you update the entire Hive OS version or just the miner itself within Hive? That is a phenomenal question, because I'm of the mindset, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And also, don't be one of the first people to change to a new version. So to answer specifically to what Chili says, no, I do not change my Hive OS version. I only change the miners themselves. So yes, there may be specific features. Like right now, there is a feature that allows like lower, basically lower memory clocks. Used to be a maximum of like -2000. Now you can go -3000. So, or even on, I think AMD can go down to 1. as an actual like locked memory clock. So yeah, one for memory. Black Sails just said that for on AMD, is my understanding. On NVIDIA, you go down to minus 3,000. But anyway, all of that is in beta right now. It even says that in the description. So yes, I do read the new versions, but I never want to be on the bleeding edge of it. I want to make sure that I have a reliable setup. And sometimes, every once in a while, when Hive OS puts out a new release, it screws things up and they have to fix it. So I will let other people be the guinea pigs. I don't want to be the guinea pigs with my operation. So, but yes, but at any time you can update the miners by going into your flight sheet and then select the specific version. If you don't see the specific version, do a, and you know the fact that Hive OS actually has that new version, back out of it, do a refresh of the browser, then go back into it and should be there. So, Geek of All Trades, it's called bleeding edge for a reason. You run the risk of getting cut. Yeah, basically. All right. So just wanted to give that little bit of a reminder. And I had, sorry, I was looking for the little version of, that's right. I'll just do that. Unmineable versus Ethermine. So did a little collab with Chump Change, and it was pretty interesting. He told me what he was doing and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And then he showed me the spreadsheet and I was like, yeah, but, and I had some ideas on the spreadsheet. He's like, hey, you want to collab? I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. So we had a call yesterday, and I basically went through and we were working on Google Sheets, not Excel, but obviously very similar with the simple things we were doing in there. But yeah, I was just setting up each cell to do the math automatically so that, the next time he runs this, he can just basically punch in the numbers and make a few modifications. It'll do all the calculations for him. But I do find it interesting that, Unmineable says 1%, but yet the difference is 10%. I could see if it was 5%, but 10% was kind of eyebrow raising. So yeah, I'm hoping that they get back to him and they have some explanations. For me, it's not about the 10% being too high. That's pretty similar to NiceHash. It's not really that much different. But the way NiceHash does it, yeah, they can say, well, there's got to be some profit in for the people buying the hash rate, and we have our expenses, and they're not very specific about it, but that's okay. They're also saying that, yes, we do take a cut, and you can calculate that yourself. So, but in this case, Unmineable hasn't been quite as transparent about it. So that's kind of what I say is probably a little bit disappointing to me. And hopefully bringing this to light, that they can be a little bit more transparent about why there's this difference. You can't even really say it's because, oh, well, Unmineable is like really good and it's much more profitable than all the rest of the pools. No, if you look at mining pools profits, Unmineable is not bad, but it's not great. It's certainly like about 5% below the top performing pool. And a lower performing pool was still only a couple percent lower than it. So to be 10% lower than Unmineable, with no transfer, no coin exchange, nothing like that. Yeah, like I said, was a little disappointing. So hopefully they respond and can be a little bit more transparent about how they're set up. I don't think 10% is too much to take. They're performing a service. Like I said, I wish they would just come out and say, yeah, we're taking 10%. I think that would be a fair thing, instead of just saying that, oh, well, if you refer somebody, we'll bring it down to 0.75. And if you refer 4 people, you won't have any fee and we're not making any money off of you. Really? I don't think that's the case. So anyway, hopefully they can come out and be a little bit more transparent. All right. Best pool, Hivon or Unmineable? Hivon is definitely a better pool than Unmineable as far as profitability. Right now, actually, Hivon is more profitable according to Mining Pool's profits. Let me bring that up. Oh, I'll open it up just in a bit. Let me get it going. ETC. All right, let me change over to the window. There you go. So here's mining pools, profits. Flex pool is at the top. So if we look at the last 90 days, let's actually look at the last 30. So if we look at the last 30, Zet is kind of a, I don't know, kind of a weird pool. It's very small, so it has some wild variations in its profitability. But Flex pool is down here at number 3, Nanopool at number 2. Hyvon is just below them, but you can see significantly, well, actually in the 30-day or the 20, yeah, 30-day, it's not that much less, about another % below. And then you have Ethermine, that's at about 10% less than Zet, but again, everybody is significantly below them, 7-10%. So you're looking at a difference of about 3% between all the rest of the pools. And then if you go all the way down to Crazy Pool or 2 miners, you know, Crazy Pool is another one that's really strange. So I try to kind of take Zet and Crazy Pool out of this chart. So if we just take the top and bottom out, you're looking at a difference of about 4% between the top and bottom miner. So, and again, if you look at where the last 90 days, instead where Flex Pool was at the top, you're looking at, again, about 4 to 5% between the top and 2 miners. So yes, Hyvon has actually improved, but you know what? It's funny how that works when they now start making you pay for your withdrawals. And this was back when the withdrawals were significant. That's when they jumped up. So yeah, I don't think they were really giving those withdrawal fees for free. I think it was just wrapped up in a calculation. Again, have a little bit of a problem with it because it's not transparent. I don't think they were being transparent because, like I said, specifically, when did they jump up on this chart from being near the bottom to middle to, you know, above half, was when they started making their miners start paying for their own transaction fees. So anyway, Dpran, thank you for being a member for 9 months. Very much appreciate it. So Red Panda Mining says, yeah, I did L7 on Unmineable and they took $2 to $3 from me compared to litecoinpool.org. So they took $2 to $3, but what was the percentage difference? That's really, I mean, if you're mining one little graphics card, 1660 Ti at, you know, 30 mega hash, that may be only a couple of cents, but the percentage is still 10 cents. So I'd be curious, do you know what that percentage is? Let's see. Oh, Retro Mike Crypto says some miners have kernel dependencies, like when Team Red Miner added R mode. I think that was when I was talking about, you know, updating your miners. And Mickey says, and Caspa is barely profitable. Yeah, nothing's really that profitable, but again, it's really similar to 2019. Things weren't very profitable back then, but they're profitable. So, and as long as they're profitable, that means that you're spending less money on power than what your crypto. Why not turn on at that point? So, alrighty, let me see what else I have. I'm bad at math. I need you to do that for me. I would do that for you, Red Panda. You just need to shoot me what the numbers are, and I will certainly do that. And you're not bad at math. You're just lazy at math. It's called a calculator. Calculator, sir. Oh, and Geek of All Trades says Litecoin pool has 0% pool fee as well. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. So it also depends on what your Unmineable fee is. So yeah, if you were mining $300 worth of Litecoin, Litecoin and Doge put together, and one was $3 more than the other, well, there's your 1%. So I don't think that's what you're talking about, but yeah, I'd be curious. Alrighty, let me move on to the fun topic of the night, which I have not counted yet. So it's going to probably take me a while. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. I should actually mention that I have decreased the amount of tabs this weekend. I've closed quite a few. That's 39 just on my first window, and that's not the worst one. All right, so that's the one I just counted. Oh no, this is the one. This is the bad one. No, that's not the bad one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it was 39. So let's just call it an even 50. It's 51, but I'm just going to round it to 50 at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 56, 57. And so I guess I won't round. Let's see. I did that one. This is the one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, that's 20. 40. 60. 80. 100. 20. About 125 on that. So you're looking at about 107, about 180 at that point. That's the big window. 180. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's over 200. I was going to say, do we really need to go any further? It's over 200. Let's just leave it at that. It's probably closer to about 220 after I add the rest of them in. But anyway, so over 200 tabs is what I currently have open. But here's the thing. It is not... Here, let me actually get these out of the way since I have the other window open. And actually, let me go back to full screen. There we go. But yeah, if you look, because I got 32 gig on this computer. So I've got plenty of memory. So right now I'm at 50% memory utilization. So not really that bad at all. And Google Chrome itself is only using about 5. So although it's probably not true because it's probably has a lot of other things down. Yeah, it has a lot of things down here. But anyway, but only 50% utilization, only 14% CPU. It's using about 50% of the GPU though. So anyway, alrighty. Well, now is the time for an AMA. I know I've been answering questions along the way, but let me get back to the chat and see what else. Blue Dragon Mining, is that all? Like I said, I closed a ton of tabs over the last few days. So that's what I have it down to. So there you go. How much RAM am I running? As I just said, 32 gig. And I specifically upgraded to 32 gig so I can run more tabs. I don't like to try to use bookmarks or anything. I just like to leave them up and then know where they are. Anyway. No, I do not have Windows updates on. In fact, probably need to do that because it's been quite a while since I've done some Windows updates, so I probably should do that. I have not gone to 2011. I'm Windows 11. I'm on Windows 10, so I'll wait a while for that. Again, don't want to be bleeding edge. Still hear that there's some problems with it. Crypto Hunter, they do have X's where you can close one. Oh, I know. I did a lot of that recently. So anyway, yo, Nemesis, good to see you. Paul D, when you showed your tabs, Micron stock pumped. Yeah, probably. Maybe even Samsung a bit as well. And Nemesis says, you need 64 gigabyte and a Threadripper too. Yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Could possibly get 64 gig though. I could take the 32 gig I have in my computer, move that to another motherboard for the Flux node, for the 4 Flux nodes, because each one of them is going to need 8 gigabytes. So yeah, I've definitely thought about doing that, and then yeah, and then moving it all here. So actually, probably what I would do is, because my wife's got a bunch of RGB on hers. She does not have RGB on her memory. I have RGB on my memory. So I'd probably take this memory out of here and put some of it in her computer and some of it in the node. I don't know. Anyway, and then put 64 in this computer. But I haven't decided that yet. But 64 would be pretty darn cool. But again, I do fine with 32. I think 32 is good. Geek of all trades is tabtacular. And Blue Dragon Mining says, I'm pretty sure I have over 200 tabs open currently. I have 32 gig of RAM as well. I want to upgrade to 64 though. Blue Dragon, man. Respect, man. Respect. Geek of all trades, do I need to send you a server to stabilize your streaming performance? LOL. No, I don't think so. This may just be a matter of reloading Windows and such on this computer, because when I do a speed test, my upload isn't bad. It's just not as good as it should be. And that has nothing to do with the nodes, because the nodes consistently, I've got them scaled down to 30 meg upload, and they are always hitting that 30 meg upload. So I should be getting better upload performance. I don't know if it's the switch I'm going through possibly, but no, it isn't, because I've gone through the router. The router's serving other ones just fine. So it's got to be something on this particular computer. I have thought about actually trading out the 5950X that I have in my CPU miner downstairs, putting that one in my personal computer and putting the 5600 down there and just mining on that. But I won't do that until I take the node off of that. So I don't know. There's a lot of things I'd like to do this year, so we'll see. We shall see. All dependent upon time. Alrighty, guys, I've been going almost, well, about an hour, because I forgot. Yeah, I'd started a little bit delayed. But what else do you guys want to ask me this evening? Give you 5 more minutes. Trying to think if there was anything else that I was going to go over tonight. I know there was one topic I forgot to hit, and now I can't remember what it was. Cannot remember. I don't know. Well, I know that Flux is up, which is nice. Up about 7% last time I checked. In fact, opening up my Zelcore wallet, which you probably can see a little bit of. Oh no, I have a full window right now. So I'm going to bring this away from there and see where we're at. 5600X is what I'm currently running on this computer. It should be plenty. It really should be. Alrighty, let me see what else. Geek of all trades, let's set you up a Citrix farm so everyone in the Voltage household can run VDI for dedicated purposes. One tab happy VM, one streaming VM, couple of nodes, etc. I know nothing. I know nothing about servers. Very little anyway. I suppose I'm willing to learn, but no, you don't need to send me one. I have no idea what I would really do with it. But anyway, Patrick. Oh yes, thank you. That was exactly what I was going to do. Patrick Guyan sent me a little package. Let me share with you what he sent. Remember the conversation we had about running Ethernet to the basement? And I think I triggered a bunch of people saying that I just ran a cable straight through as opposed to running termination points and such. Yeah, I think Patrick was either triggered or he's trolling me, one of the two. I'll let you guys be the decider. So he sent me a lot of cable. More cable. Electrician's shears.
Ted said all the tabs open when his son streamed his 5600X bogged down.
When I what?
First Ted said, with all the tabs open when his son streamed with his 5600X, it bogged down when he had Chrome open because all the sites updated at the same time.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, maybe if I just kill Chrome prior to the stream and reload it, that probably would help. I know that I've done that in the past, and that helps reduce the amount of memory being used. So anyway, lots of 1 foot, 3 foot, and 10 foot cables. Zip ties. Let's say tie wraps. That wasn't right. Termination plates. All kinds of termination plates. Whatever these are called. I know there's a name for them, and I can't think of what they're called. But basically, what goes in the wall plate so that you can plug it in, and then the cable terminates into that. And punch down tool. That pretty much does it. I mean, there's a lot of termination plates, different termination boxes, lots of things in there. So again, I appreciate that. Now, the letter that he sent was Happy Kwanzaa. It says, Dear Max, your patch cable network offends me. Please find included the materials to remedy this. If you have any questions about install and or general tool usage, please consult with your wife, Sunflower Mama, Patrick Kyan. Anyway, thought it was funny. Appreciate it. I don't know if or when I will ever use all of this, but one of the things I will do is I'm going to actually look to see if I can get a little bit better cable management down in the basement with reasonable length cables now that I have multiple options. So that I can go basically like with a 1 foot cable from the switch to my Octominer. So that'll be a nice clean run there. Probably a 3 foot cable up to the next rig up. And possibly even the CPU miner is probably going to require the 6 foot cable. I do have a 6 foot cable. He didn't send me any 6 foot cables. Anyway, and then... But anyway, the 10 foot cable, the 3 foot cable will definitely come in handy for a few of those runs. So yeah, lots of jacks, lots of plates, lots of jacks. There's a ton in here. It cost him $40 to ship it to me. So again, Patrick, very much appreciate it. Keystones, yes. Keystones everywhere. Yes, there are a lot of keystones in that thing. Anyway, it was very nice to see. And actually I may use the cable. We may end up, might end up rerunning my daughter's spot, because I've actually thought about putting a termination point over by her computer. Right now I have it running across the floor. We wanted to get it done quick and simple. So we have a 75 foot cable with lots of extra, but she's happy. We did it just one afternoon. We got the cable in, we did it, boom, done. And anyway, he says we means me. Yes, we meaning her. I helped. I fed the cable. I held the Sharpie. What Sharpie did I hold? Oh, that's right. So I can mark the carpet. But we didn't need to mark the carpet because she came through the carpet. Anyway, it's actually pretty funny. So we have, when we did that cable, we drilled from the basement, and with the Wii again. Okay, she drilled from the basement, but we didn't see it come up from the basement. And in our den closet, which is where this is going, we have a wood shelf, and the left rear leg, she ended up drilling right into the left rear leg of the wood shelf. So anyway, so we had to re-drill a hole a little bit the other direction from it, so that we could get through the floor. And what's nice about drilling up from the basement is that it will just poke a very small hole going up in the carpet, but leave a nice decent size hole so you can feed the cable without having a huge hole in your carpet. So basically you can't really see it. If you drilled straight down, it's going to put a big hole in your carpet. So if you ever do something like that, drilling up from the basement is the way to go. Alrighty, guys. Again, thank you so much, Patrick. And thank you for the reminder. I knew there was something else I was going to go over, so I appreciate that a lot. Corey Cassart, are you into CPU mining at all? I hate to ask twice. I just don't think you saw. I did not see your first message. I did have a great Christmas, so I appreciate that. I do some CPU mining. I am more focused on GPU mining though, but yes, I do have a 5950X that is mining in the basement. So like I said, I'm talking about possibly taking the 5950X out of there and putting it into my personal computer, thinking that maybe it might solve some of these problems. But yeah, not sure yet. So wife is ratting you out. Of course she is. She's not ratting me out. She is simply telling the truth. So I don't mind that at all. Yeah, she never hesitates to throw me under the bus every chance she gets. It's all about transparency, people, all about transparency. So, alrighty, guys. Well, thank you guys all for showing up. I very, very much appreciate it. I will be here again next Monday. Next Monday, I was just thinking about this a little bit ago, thinking about work. There's a possibility I might be doing a midday one again. I might have to work second shift next week. Won't go into all the reasons why, but I may be working second shift next week. So if that's the case, I will let you guys know, and I will be doing a midday stream instead of an evening stream. So probably do something like around noon or so. So at any rate, just want to give you guys all a heads up. But again, I will let you guys all know. Probably on the Saturday Night Live stream this Saturday. So, alrighty, guys. Well, again, thank you guys all for coming. If you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button on the way out. If you are not a current subscriber, it'd be great if you guys could subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And again, thank you to all my members. I very much appreciate you all, and to all my subscribers. Alrighty, guys. Have a good night. And thanks again for showing up. I appreciate it.